Mine is to just talk about the issue of loyalty and gratitude by a leader. For me, I believe that every leader should be grateful and love those who help him to be a leader. It's not non-negotiable unless you're grateful. You must be grateful. But you can't be loyal to those grateful. I'm speaking from the chambers of the illiterates, or from the chambers of those who don't know anything. I understand that loyalty means steadfast allegiance to a constitution or to a people. And for a leader, you should be loyal to the constitution that you want to defend, or to the people who elected you. And it shouldn't be to the person who assisted you to be a leader. You can't be loyal to that person. That person should be rather loyal to you. Because they are still being the leader. It should be loyal to you. People should be loyal to the leader, and the leader should be those who left should be loyal to the leader, and the leader should be loyal to the people. Then, for instance, past presidents are being invited by the incumbent president to be an envoy. That's loyalty to the man who is on seat. The president is not loyal to the one who had left, but the one who had left is loyal to the one who is seated. So for anybody to have sat on the position of authority and left and expect his predecessor, his successor to be loyal to him, is an aberration.
Today we are waging a very strong, and I think I've made this point several times in the public domain myself, that in Rivers State today we are waging a very important ideological struggle. Some people characterize it as a struggle between the governor and the minister. No, that is not the case. They don't have any personal issues. The debate and the struggle is the location of sovereignty. Should the people rule? Should the people govern? Should the priorities of the people come first? Or should the whims and caprices of the political godfather be the supremacy that we should override every other consideration with this? And this debate, as the chairman has said, has very wide resonance across the country, because if we win this debate by enthroning the supremacy of the Rivers people, it is going to have a contagion effect all across the country. People will see Rivers State as the source of inspiration to reassert the sovereignty of the people over the kind of criminal tendencies we see. Leadership just doesn't come by accident. A person has to learn that once you become a leader, there are obligations. And part of the obligations is to make sure you know exactly what you want to do. So that knowledge of what you want to do will transform itself into a vision. You see this particular leadership. Now, the vision itself is not sufficient. You have to translate into action. And the action should be such that will benefit ultimately the people. We identified certain key sectors which a leader who wants to impact sustainability on the people must emphasize. One is education, because you need human capital development for sustainable development. When we are all out of here in the next 10, 15, 20 years, we need to have good quality leaders who can take our place. So education will enable us to build a foundation according to SAM to make sure that we have good quality leaders. Now, once you are in a leadership position and you want to lead, you must leave a legacy of service. Legacy of service means investment in these critical areas I mentioned, education, health, because you must have people who are healthy in order to have a productive workforce. So this is a very important thing. I will add agriculture, because we need to have food sustainability, especially at a time like this, when there is so much food insecurity and a lot of people who are suffering because we keep importing food. How can we make sure there is a dedicated and committed investment in food security through investment in agriculture? Governor Fubara is doing that already. When he came on board, all the agricultural investments of the previous administration were just abandoned. Now, from what I have seen so far, there seems to be a renewed commitment to bring back those farms and to try to, engender what looks like a green economy here in Rivers State, so that there will be food sustainability. I think there should also be an investment there should also be social investment. Social investment means investing in people building their capacity, investing in communities, lifting them from poverty, so that the people can take ownership of the process the BB is talking about. They become participatory in the process that will benefit them. There is a link, there is a missing link. I think it may have been because of insufficient time. Some here didn't quite mention this. But I have to raise it. That's part of my job as the moderator. Now, we talk about leadership, we talk about loyalty, gratitude, and all that. We haven't quite captured the importance of accountability to the people. I say this because in Rivers State, in the past 8 years, records show that Rivers State received over 5 trillion naira. I served in the previous administration. The government received over 5 trillion naira. Maybe someone has to respond. At what point will the previous administration be called in the service of the people to give account? Because all these people who have been sworn in, for instance, under this particular ESCO in this supreme organization, this particular one, I suspect that at the end of your term, you will leave office and you will give account. Is that correct? By the same logical extension, I think that there ought to be a time when, after service, you ought to be able to come back to the people to say, while I was in office, in my capacity as your servant, I received so much, I did so much, I did not. This is not an indictment, but part of your gratitude to the people. Will there be a time when leaders of the previous administration, especially in the past 8 years, will be able to account to the people to say, we received on your behalf 5 trillion naira, and we want to give account? Is that an important subject that we should explore?